Are you sure this has to be the hottest December? And then we are into mid-December and we're getting all this cold, we're getting all this, haziness everywhere, dryness. I mean, but we can't complain.
Of course.
I guess it's safe for us to begin to say compliments of the season.
Compliments of the season.
The Christmas season. I can't wait for Christmas. Like I always say, this is my favorite time of the year. But then, good morning and welcome once again. This is the Idea Morning Digest here on Idea TV, where we bring you stories and developments, also trends around redefining moments in innovation, in science, in the technological landscape, in entrepreneurship, business, policies, development, research, and everything that happens around us, those unexpected stories, those expected stories. This is the right place to see them. My name is Cynthia Basi, and of course I'm never alone on the show, and today I'm with
Mary Ojumajo.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome. Thanks for joining us on this Idea Morning Digest for the morning.
Yes, that's it from me. I guess the code has something on her too.
I do.
And if you like what we do here, you like things around science, like I mentioned before, things around everything we talk about here, you can jump into the conversations online at Idea Television and let your voice be heard, or you can use the alternative medium. Send us a message through our email at ideatvlimited. We want to hear from you. But before we go on a break, let's run you through the headlines we'll be bringing your way this morning. The first news story we'll be bringing your way this morning is that police diffuse explosive device under Telecom Mast in Borno State.
Of U.S. wants NIGERIANS visa fraud.
And KANO summit raises alarm over censorship of content creators. And lastly,
we also have Trump's use BBC for $10 billion over addicted Capitol Hill speech.
All right, that's the much we'll be bringing your way. So if you want to stay connected, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
AI augmented development. AI is now revolutionizing software development by automating code generation, testing, and debugging. Tools like GitHub Copilot suggest code snippets in real time, significantly speeding up the development process. However, developers need to remain cautious, as over-reliance on AI tools could introduce security vulnerabilities. As companies push for faster software delivery, AI-augmented development is becoming essential for maintaining competitiveness.
Okay, good to know you are still there with us, and welcome back. First story, Borno State Police Command has neutralized an unexploded ordnance discovered beneath a telecommunications mast at Shuskin, the federal low-cost area of Maiduguri. According to a statement issued on Monday by the police public relations officer, ASP Nahum Daso, the device was recovered following a report received by the divisional police officer of the ITE Police Division. Daso says the Commissioner of Police, Naziru Abdulmajid, immediately deployed the explosive ordnance disposal, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear EOD CBRN-based 13 team to the scene upon receiving the alert. The EOD CBRN operatives condoned off the area and safely rendered the device harmless in line with standard operating procedures, thereby preventing a possible explosive and threat to public safety. Preliminary findings indicated that the ordnance, which had two protruding wires, was deliberately planted to cause damage. Its items recovered at the scene included a hand plier, a t-shirt, and a pair of shoes. Following the operation, the police conducted sensitization and safety awareness sessions for residents, urging them to remain vigilant and promptly report suspicious objects or movements. The police command has also directed all divisional police officers across the state to intensify patrols and strengthen security around critical infrastructure, particularly communication facilities. Residents were assured that the situation had been brought under control and normal activities had resumed while investigations into the incidents continue. Okay,
It's a big one on that.
This is one of those stories that could have ended in a different way if prompt action was not employed, or employed rather. An explosive device planted under a telecommunications mast. That one alone should, make everyone pause and stop for a while and think why. Because Maiduguri rather isn't just a city. I mean, if you hear. That's the capital, that's the heartbeat of Borno State, and aside that, they're very popular for something not so good. They're very popular, Maiduguri have lived with insurgency for a while now, for over a decade now, since the whole insurgency, insecurity issue started in Nigeria. So when police say the device was deliberately planted with wires sticking out beneath a telecom mast, I think that's a planned action. It's not just a speculation. I mean, it's a targeted act, a very, very I think a very strategic plan was carried out there, because first of all, we need to understand that a telecom mast or telecom masts rather are not just normal property. They are not just random objects. So in this case, it's not just a random target. That is something that powers communication. That is something that, we use for phone calls, it gives us internet access. That is something we know, in time where we need to make emergency response, we need to call somebody, or maybe something is happening here, experiencing some sort of insecurity in this place, you have to run and call somebody or call the police. I mean, this is what, transmits this should I say energy or something, or that is the channel in which we communicate. So when we see some things like this in conflict prone areas like Maiduguri, I'm just saying what the intention could be that they want to carry out, they just want to knock out communication, so that if possibly they want to carry out an attack, they can go ahead with what they want to do. I think it's just in some
areas where they do attack, I think they do not have strong network,
exactly.
And that would actually make people not to communicate to the outside world to get help. So I think they wanted to destroy it so that they can have power over the people there. So even if you're attacked and you have phone, you want to call somebody, and you want to reach the person early, so that before you could reach out to anybody, they must have done what they want to do. But I'm happy that swift action was taken immediately, and the response was very, very quick, because with this, it tells us that the security system in Nigeria is actually changing. And with everything that is going on, I feel that everything is now very, very active, and these people would know that before any of these planned would come to pass anymore, it has to be a very serious one, and the security agencies are not resting. I like the fact that most of our routes now, you see security agencies, you see every bus stop have a security personnel there searching and checking, and it's very important, especially for this season that we are in now, because they've already mapped out and planned a lot of things that is supposed to happen this season. This is December period where a lot of family get to travel. Those that do not have money to travel want to stay at home and enjoy their holiday. These people are not resting. They want to make headlines, they want to make news, and they've already planned out what they want to do for this Xmas. We might not have an info of what they want to do, or the security personnel might not have full information, but they are guiding each community. I like the policing now. It's very, very strong, and it's encouraging. And those people in that community will be very happy that at least they came to their rescue. At least they were able to discover. This is giving faith, us having faith back to our policing system in the country.
Very, 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 very important. I mean, what you've said, Mary, you've said it all, and I cannot say anything more than what you've said. I mean, I just feel like this also bring back vigilance. When we talk about that community and police collaboration, I think this is one of those. This is a perfect example. The police did the technical work, but for them to be informed about the situation, it was people, the residents, that bring the case to their awareness. People noticed it first, and then they had to call the police to come, tackle the situation, and that's what we talk about the basics. When we talk about community policing, these are the basics of community policing, but then we have to move to the next story.
Yeah, we have to move to the next story. The United States Embassy in Abuja has cautioned Nigerians against engaging in visa fraud, stressing that falsifying information or submitting fake documents carries severe consequences, including permanent visa ban. In a statement posted on X on Monday, the embassy said that lying or presenting fraudulent documents during the visa application process could result in lifetime inability to enter the United States under existing immigration laws. The advisory came as a U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, met with Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, to discuss areas of bilateral cooperation between both countries. The embassy reaffirmed its commitment to continue collaboration with Nigeria on the issue of mutual interest, noting the importance of lawful and transparent process. The warning also comes amidst heightened diplomatic focus on Nigeria's internal security challenges. In recent months, some U.S. lawmakers have raised concern over attacks on communities, particularly the North and Middle Belt regions, describing them as violation of religious freedom and calling for closer cooperation between both governments to protect vulnerable groups. I think in this aspect of this, it's very important that documents presented to embassies should be correct and it should correspond. Because we will start having all this visa ban here and there. I think a lot of people will be affected. That will have another way of them looking at us as Nigerians are people that are into full fraud, and we do not want that. We don't want our names to be ascribed to that. So I think in going to the embassy to submit your documents for anything, you should cross-check first. Before you get there and get embarrassed, at the end of the day, you'll be banned from entering. And this law is becoming very serious because I see most Nigerians right now, everybody wants to jackpot the jackpot thing, and everybody wants to leave. At that point, anybody, they can do anything to want to get there. But now the law is very strict because most of them get there. At the end of the day, there is no job they are doing. There is nothing that is bringing income to them. And they are, the governments, they are coming to constitute nuisance, and they feel, most of them need to be deported. So I feel that is part of the reason why they have to make these laws very, very strict. And if you're found guilty, you'll be banned and you'll not be able to have access anymore. And you would affect other people coming, because making the law very, very strict, other people, the way the scrutiny is going to be now is going to be very, very high. And some other persons that have correct documents might even feel very embarrassed, like this has not been the process. But right now it's very tight and they'll feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, it's a nice thing to do, and it's really, really a nice thing to do.
It's really a nice thing to do for the U.S. But
for the U.S.
for the U.S. Nigerians will not be happy with you.
Yeah. Okay.
But then that's just me saying,
of course,
out loud. But I feel like this is a very, this is a very consequential story, because, you said it all, lie, fake documents, falsified informations, and you could be banned for life. And when they say lifetime, I like to take the U.S. Words not lightly. I like to hold it seriously and very tight, because whenever they say something, they always mean it. And this time around, they are not saying you will be banned like for some time. You can apply later for 10 years. They are saying lifetime. And the immigration systems, just know that they remember everything they say, especially the U.S. immigration.
Yes,
they don't forget easily. And I can say this isn't a new thing, but I feel it is a very interesting one, because this warning is coming at a very critical time when the U.S. Ambassador Richard Mills meets Nigeria Foreign Affairs Minister Tuga. And I feel like this tells us that it isn't just consular talk. It's more like a diplomatic message to me. This is how I'm perceiving it, because this is a time where Nigeria is battling with insecurity, and a time where we have been designated as country of particular concern. Quite the same country. So this is me thinking out loud again. Don't hold me on my words, but I just feel like Richard Mills isn't a random diplomat to just come out and say this is the restrictions we want to put and this. They have come to Nigeria, they went to Benue State and some other states, and they have seen what is happening here. So I just feel like this is more like his envoy experience. He has come, he has seen what is happening here, and this is more like, should I say, a major of dealing with governance issue, of dealing with security issue, and also migration issues. Because I remember even President Bola Tinubu, Nigeria's president, talked about illegal immigration as one of the ways to tackle this insecurity issue. So when embassies like this come out and speak, I just feel like it reflects broader the US policy thinking. I feel it cuts deep into broader issues. There are some underlying issues. Yeah, I feel like it's more like it could be the borderline between the security issues going on in Nigeria, and this is some of the way they can think to, okay, because at this point in time, this is the time where most Nigerians will want to relocate or migrate to another country, especially countries like the US that are doing well, you get, and because of the insecurity issues. So, but this is another way the US is trying to say, okay, let's tackle these issues, and you must face your issues once and for all. You must provide solutions for your country. If we continue allowing you people come, you will not see the reason to find solutions to your own issues. So remain in your country, find opportunities in your country, find the solutions in your country, because where the insecurity breeds, nothing else can even function properly there. But you want to say something?
Yeah, what I want to say is, as you're going over there, you're leaving us here. Who are you leaving the country for? And then you should know that if we don't put hands together to fight insecurity, of course we won't be able to do it. You're running to a country where you feel everything is okay. They had to work together. They had to bring their collective ideas to be able to put that country the way it is. And if you're very comfortable there, they said no place like home. You can come here and do the same thing, and we're working together. We'll put all this to a stop. It's not just for the government alone. We individuals will have our roles to play as a citizen in the country. So I think that's why I said it's a very, very good one, because of course we should fight what is fighting us first.
Remain in your country where you live.
Of course they are seeing everything that is going on, the religious fight and everything, every other thing that is going on in the country.
She's calling on integrity, not just the US calling for visa integrity. Nigeria is calling for national integrity.
National integrity is very important.
Let's this is the time we have to come together and find solutions for our problems. But then let's move to the next story so we don't waste much time deliberating on this. A summit on artistic freedom has raised concerns over growing censorship, harassment and regulatory pressure on performers and content creators in Nigeria. The 2025 Freedom Vibes Summit, organized by Unchained Vibes Africa, held today in KANO, brought together artists, lawyers, cultural activists, and government representatives to discuss the shrinking space for creative expression. The day-long event focused on protecting artists, freedom, and reforming regulations affecting the creative industry. Speaking at the summit, northern representatives of Unchained Vibes Africa, Saifulahi Ibrahim, also known as Dr. Puri, said creative voices must be protected, describing artists as the conscience of society. The summit featured panel discussions on legal challenges, digital safety, and restrictive local regulations alongside the legal clinic for creatives. A key highlight was the graduation of participants from the Freedom Vibes Academy, a 3-month training program for emerging artists and cultural activists. Graduates showcased projects linking art with social advocacy, as speakers called for legal reforms and stronger collaboration to safeguard artistic freedom, which they describe as vital to democracy and freedom expression, or freedom of expression. I think this one deserves very serious attention, especially because it is coming from the north. I mean, we've seen very clearly there, just stated that artists, lawyers, activists in KANO State, creatives, I like to just tag all of them as creative, I've gathered to talk about the shrinking creative space in KANO State, or in the north. And I feel like this is not an abstract idea. This is not an abstract initiative or thinking. I think it's the lived realities of the people that are inhabiting the north, of people living in the north, and content creators, especially in a time like this where the digital landscape is expanding and it's touching everywhere. You have content creators everywhere. So I feel like this is the lived reality of these people. There is not enough freedom of expression, especially for creatives. So talking about Unchained, I like the name, the way they have themed the event, Unchained Vibes Africa. I think that's a beautiful name. It cuts deep. I think it holds. It's a very symbolic theme for the event, and as you can, the Northerners are very creative people. That's what a lot of people do not know, because they are not always in the open. But there are a lot. They have beautiful musicians. Wonderful musicians have even come out of the north that are doing well in Nigeria and all over the world. Take for instance. Ice Prince and the likes of them. They have beautiful performers, they have beautiful digital storytellers, they have beautiful advocacy tools too, and digital storytelling tools as well. And I like that a creative has come out to say, someone who understands the culture, number one, not just the business of the creative economy, but understands the culture, understands the consequences of both the culture and content creation or creative expression. I like that he has come out and taken it upon himself. This is how to make impact wherever you reside. I like that he has come out to say, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what we have been experiencing for a long time, and I want us to talk about this issue now. I think his statement that artists are the conscience of the society isn't just a poetic talk, which is in Oshundari. There's somebody that usually says this, that they are the conscience, or if we want to define is it language, is it society, or something like that. But I like that this is not just a creative, not just a poetic talk for me. It holds deeper meaning. It's accurate. What he has said is very accurate. Take all of the fellas, all of these people did not just sing, they did not just entertain people, they did not just make people happy, but they have made impact in the society. So what he is coming out to say is that these people are the consciousness of the society. These people reflect the society in ways that I remember I was in an event, the event we attended yesterday, and the man said 10 scientists can come out and say they want to talk to people about a particular thing, and nobody will listen to them about a particular thing about science and technology. When you invite Davido, and everybody will want to listen to Davido, and they will understand him better. So I guess that's just the way this guy is saying we should give artists, give creatives that chance. This is not just about regulation here, it's about what every society should regulate. I think the issue here has been overreach, and when regulations becomes more like an intimidation and more like an harassment or censorship without clear legal ground, then there is a problem. So what stood out for me here was the legal clinic here. I mean, it tells us that creatives are now thinking defensively, and what can I say, what can I post, how to be creative, express yourself, but still be responsible. What law might be used against me, and how can I defend myself? How do I know my rights? What are the red flags in a democratic society? And this is what these people have come out to do, and I think it's very beautiful.
You said it all, Cynthia. I think it's a very beautiful and welcome idea, because it's going to shape a lot of things. It's going to shape a lot of things in the creative word. Should I call it a word? It's a word, actually.
It's a word now. It's a word. I mean, they are building communities.
Of course, it's going to shape a lot of things in the creative world. So yeah, I think it's a very welcome one, and it's a good idea from there. So let's move on to the next story because of our time. United States President Donald Trump has filed a lawsuit against the British Broadcasting Corporation, seeking at least $10 billion in damages over an edited documentary clip of his January 16, 2021 speech. This suit was filed on Monday in a federal court in Miami, accusing the BBC of defamation and deceptive practice. The case centered on a Panorama documentary aired last year ahead of the 2024 United States election, which split part of Trump's speech in a way his lawyers say falsely suggested to urge supporters to attack the Capitol. Trump claims the edit was deliberate and intended to influence the election, alleging the broadcaster put words in his mouth. The BBC has denied defamation, but its chairman has issued an apology, admitting the organization should have acted faster after the error was identified. The controversy led to the resignation of the BBC's Director General and its top news executive last month. The broadcaster says it is reviewing the lawsuit. There is no conclusion between the case and Nigeria's National Assembly, including its Committee on Science, Technology and Innovation. That's a big one on that. About that. Talking about that is actually a huge one, saying that they were putting words in his mouth. That means most of the things they said, he said that period was actually not how he said it. And suing and going for them to be sued is actually another word on its own there. And secondly, the fact that they identified this error early and they could not, put things in place. They allowed it to...
Let's still agree that it's an error. They haven't agreed.
Okay, they have not agreed yet.
They just want to...
Okay, die down the issue or make it more softer and all that.
Like agree to disagree.
Oh, okay. I just feel at this point that this filing for this suit is actually the right, should I say the right thing to do, because election is coming. It will soon come and people will capitalize on that speech. They'll bring it back because the internet never forgets, no matter what. They will refer to that and be like, this is what he said so that I can remember. It has not been a past event. Recently, people are bringing things up because we have 2027 coming after 2026. That means we'll have 1 year left for election year.
Nigerian election.
So a lot of people are bringing out videos of people, videos of promises that they never met to, all those there, manifesto that never came to pass. So I just feel at this point he has this urge that at the end of the day, let them go and fish out this video and feel like, oh, this is what I said. So let's fight about it now. Let's correct the error. Let's make people know that this is not it. This was not what I said, to put everything right, so that when that time comes, we'll not have issues like this video is going viral because I said this and I said that. So I feel at this point it's actually a welcome idea.
Who knows what was said?
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
He said at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I just like that angle you have taken it from. Very, very. I think that's what makes
very important.
It's very interesting. I've been seeing this on the news for weeks now, and I'm like, okay, here we go, President Donald Trump again. Trump, he's suing them for $10 billion. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I know it's a very big news company, but then I first of all, let's look at it from the context of the January 6th Capitol riot. That riot remains one of the most polarizing events in modern American history until date, because Trump's speech that day has been analyzed by not just the BBC, different people. People got talking. His speech was replayed countless times, even on social media. It has been debated endlessly even until today. So his claim here is, and that was the year he was going out of power, because this is his second term. I think the first time he entered into power was 2017 and to 2021, where he got off seat. But then his claims here is that the BBC edited his words to suggest or imply something he didn't say. He didn't say. To imply, according to him, that they are suggesting he incited violence, something he has consistently, denied. He has denied it, that he did not say it. But let's look at the BBC now. The BBC is not just any broadcaster. It's not just any broadcasting, medium. It's publicly funded, number one, and I'm going somewhere with this. It's globally respected and held with, high editorial standards.
Of course, so why out there
by any means would they want to, bring their names to
the mods
when they know that they have a whole lot at stake for them here. They have everything to lose at this point in time. If they have their credibility here to lose as well, they have everything to lose at this point in time. So I feel like I just feel like this case is why this case is very explosive is because there are two sides of the coin here. We're talking of a president who is still in power and just like you've mentioned, might want to run again for another term. We're talking about BBC who have their credibility and all the name and all their glory to lose here. But then I think that's why the BBC have come out, the chairman has come out and said we are apologizing, and some of their top executives have also resigned. They resigned, and this wasn't a minor technical error. I feel it's more than we are seeing it here. They are coming out to say it's a technical error, we are sorry. But what could be the reason for the resignation of some of these top executives? There's something behind. Yes, there's something behind. Something is not clicking here, but I just feel like it's but at the end of the day, it's a very explosive issue. It's something that can shake tables, shake leadership, shake everything. But then, why I laughed when you were saying, when you mentioned something like President Donald Trump lawsuit, I think it fits all his broad patterns. Yes, it's like it's a pattern for him. He's always swing. Today is swing TikTok, tomorrow is swing this, tomorrow is challenging one media firm or the other, tomorrow is challenging another media institution, tomorrow is framing himself, the next day is framing himself as a victim of bias. I mean, I'm not standing for the BBC now, but I'm just saying I've seen this pattern with the president, the US president. He's always like framing himself as, that victim of bias, and he knows how to do his thing. The fact that he goes through the legal way is why nobody really have much to say. He's always going through the using legal or political platforms. So I just feel like in this case, whether he wins or not, it just sends a message to us here that, especially to media organizations, media people, the media is under pressure. And yes, our credibility now as media people is very fragile, and for us to take some editorial decisions, it's like it has to be one that has to fall under political will, has to be one that has to be in tune with some political interest or something. But then I feel like it's also, I don't know, so many media houses have legal backings, but I don't know. These are just consequences of legal and political interests, and I do not like to say this, but whatever the case might be here, the matter needs clarification, because misinformation at the end of the day, I rebuke misinformation with all that is within me as a media person. So whatever is going to misinform the audience is not welcome. So if the president have said whatever video is circulating is misinforming the audience, then it should be looked into. I like the stand BBC have taken. But that's the much we can take. Let's go through the headlines we brought your way. First news we brought your way is that police defuse explosive device on the Telecom Mast in Borno.
We also brought your way, US warns Nigerians against visa fraud.
Okay, we brought to you that KANO summit raised alarm over censorship of content creators.
We also brought to you lastly, Trump sued BBC for $10 billion over edited Capitol RIOT speech.
Okay, that's the much we can bring your way on the news review segment. But we are coming to you with the discussion segment up after this break.
1. Synthetic biology advances. Synthetic biology is pushing science into new territory. Synthetic biology, one of the most transformative fields of the decade. So there you have it, 15 more technologies that, alongside the first 17 we covered, are set to define 2026. Together, they show how quickly innovation is moving beyond our screens and into every corner of our life, from the materials we use to the way we connect and even how we think. And if you missed part 1, make sure to check it out next. If you made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Number 2, advance.
It's good to have you back and good to know that you're still there with us if you have been with us from the beginning of the Idea Morning Digest up until now. But then, We are taking you through the new front line against human trafficking. Yes, so Lagos State has continued to position itself as a global megacity. One crime quietly undermines families, communities, and futures, and that is human trafficking. This week, the Lagos State government made a decisive move, unveiling anti-human trafficking officers at the local government level, taking the fight, and I'm emphasizing this, taking the fight directly to the communities where traffickers often recruit and operate. So beyond policy statements, this move signals a great shift from reaction to prevention and from distant enforcement to grassroots vigilance. But how effective can this framework be? What changes with bringing legal officers and neighborhood safety corps into frontline? What changes will come from this? And most importantly, will this finally close the gaps that traffickers exploit? That's our focus today. Mary, when we talk about Lagos as a global mega city, nobody can contest that. We often, focus on, we think it's just about skyscrapers. Lagos have the tallest buildings in Nigeria, and they're now a technological hub, investment, but no. I'm talking about the other side of it being a mega city. I'm talking about, if you watch games or you play games a lot, you'll be familiar with this. When you talk about mega cities, I'm talking about the crimes that hide behind, population. I'm talking about, the population density. I'm talking about poverty, that gaps, that's different strata. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about lived dreams. I'm talking about unlived dreams too. I'm talking about desperate people. I'm talking about desperate measures. I'm talking about the fast life when I talk about, Lagos being a mega city. And human trafficking is one of the most silent crime that has been perpetuated from time immemorial. I feel it's one of the most devastating of them all too, because human trafficking still exists. And I'm particular about this topic because this was my final year project.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, this was my final year project topic. So, it doesn't come to me. It comes to me as a shock, and at the same time, it doesn't come to me as a shock because it's more like it's hidden in plain sight. We know these things are happening, but yet these things are not being talked about. So when Lagos State government come out to announce that they are deployed anti-human, trafficking officers, I like to see this at local government level. I've always been particular about Nigeria giving, autonomy to state levels as well, not just monopolizing everything to the, federal government, every decision, every step, have to come from the federal government. And I feel like this is a policy that should come to stay, and this is a policy all other states should enact as well. I think it's an admission, but then it's a very important one that crime doesn't begin when see people at borders running with one or two children, and then you stop them and say, where are you going to? It's not at airports when you see people trying to flee the country. It begins at our very home.
Yeah, sure.
That's what a lot of people do not know. It begins at our backyard. It begins in our families, and this is what Lagos State have come to recognize and understand. So let's go to the grassroots. Why grassroots matters? Why does it matter? Why do you think Lagos State have said, no, we have to go back to the grassroots and tackle this matter?
Where it all started, where it all begins. Lagos is actually a very big city where a lot of things go down, and yet a lot of people do not know. This human trafficking is something that has been happening for a very long time. Right from when I was a kid, I've been hearing about human trafficking. All we were praying about that time was none of our relatives will be involved, none of this will be involved, none of that will be involved. What about people that are already involved? What do you do about that? So this human trafficking matter, it's actually a very big one that a lot of families have been separated. A lot of issues have happened because of this human trafficking. We have other crimes happening though, but this human trafficking, I think at this point, them addressing it is very, very important. Because you see a group of people coming together just to use human trafficking as a business. Why would trafficking humans be a business you major at? And most times it's at this local environment, these rural areas. You see most of these things happening. And don't be surprised that most of their sponsors are actually big men. Some people just feel this is a job where I can use the vulnerable people to achieve. They do not want to put their hand completely in debt, but they want to drag people into that debt. And when you get these traffickers, they start confessing, you discover that most people sponsoring, they are people that have money. And sometimes they give reasons like out of poverty, I need money for this, but there are other things you can do other than trafficking humans. But I don't know why it's a major thing for them to traffic humans. You're trafficking humans, and you see it as something. And most of these things starts with some extended family members. You'll be surprised to know that some extended family members actually traffic their fellow family members, and you think it's not a joke.
I mean,
it's not a plaything.
Vulnerable people. That was what came to
it's not a plaything.
Exploiting vulnerable people, and you say some people are, at the top of this issue. So who are the people they are using to get to these vulnerable people? Most times there are people close to them, because trafficking will not just start. It doesn't carry siren that will come and tell you I'm a trafficker or I'm a this. So this trafficking it often starts with more of those our aunties and uncles.
I want to take you to the city for schooling. I want to train your child. I want to train.
Exactly.
This, I think poverty is one major cause of this whole thing, because when an individual gives birth to a lot of children that you cannot take care of, at the end of the day, them hawking the street, and you see one nice auntie from your village that wants to take responsibility of 2 of your children, you'll be happy to hand them over, not knowing that what they're going there for is actually not going to school or doing business, but rather they are being trafficked to another country, another city, being sex workers and other things. So I think they should, it's actually a good one that they're looking into this matter, especially in Lagos. Why I'm emphasizing on Lagos? Because this to extend, of course, Abuja is one other place, Abuja here, but the Lagos aspect, we say it's high there somehow, because a lot of people,
that was the supposed land of greener pastures,
of course,
where you now plan to move to the greener pasture outside abroad.
Yeah, so when a lot of people in the rural area, like in Abuja, hear that I'm taking you to Lagos. The name Lagos brings this mindset of I'm going to the big city where I go to Banana Island. They're forgetting that there are other places where you don't even see fine flashy vehicles moving.
So that's much of presiding on even the issue. I think what the Lagos State government is doing with enforcement, especially enforcement to local government levels, is very
exactly. And not just focusing on federal government.
Yes, in this story, very, very important, because these are the closest administrative units or bodies to the people. This are the bodies or units that understand that understand people, that understand families, that understands migration patterns,
of course,
that understands what is going on in different families,
and how they can tackle it,
and how they can tackle it. So many people are facing different things, like you mentioned. So I think early detection is very important. Early detection here, that Lagos State is even trying to, profile as as part of the solutions, bringing local governments in tune with this, so that they can be able to spot all those unusual recruitment, patterns, because they understand the people better. They can be able to, also relate with them and say what is going on. They can easily even report cases to them, noticing children that are dropping out of school too. When you notice that some children are not going to school, if these local government enforcement officers now see these children, they want to ask, why are you not going to school? And quickly get their lives back on track, so that they will not go, astray or be victims of such things like human trafficking. And also teach people too. They are there to also teach people how to question all these sudden job offers. You are being offered job abroad, being offered. So I feel like these national agencies are very, very important. We have national agencies all this while, federal government agencies too. But now taking it local is where I like the most. I've always talked about taking things to the grassroots, and this is it for me. Then there are clear rules and stronger coordinations, and this is where we talk about structure, when we talk about clear rules and proper coordinations or stronger coordinations, because legal officers are going to be carried along. And any good intention or any good initiative or project you bring about that does not have a good structure, at the end of the day, it will, fail. So I think this framework brings together legal officers, local community custodians, too, if I should put it that way, and that neighborhoods, safety, that community policing we've been talking about too. I think the combination of all of these aspects matters very, very well, because we have legal officers that will understand procedures, understand evidence, understand victims, understand plight, understand rights too, and understand how should I put it, penalties, understand those prosecution pathways too for offenders. And then there is neighborhood safety, those people who are there to check these people. That's more like the presence of one-in-one, that intelligence major and presence there. And then when they hear rumors, they hear movement, these are the people that will report, because they know the terrain, they understand their vicinity, they understand their community, and then it's going to bring together all these people. So I think this is one of the biggest challenges that has been plying us rather in Nigeria, especially with cases of human trafficking. I think it's fragmentation, because everyone it seems like all of us are working, but we are not working. It's more like we are working in silos. We have different government agencies, but it seems like they hardly come together to partner or collaborate. You hardly see things like that. But I like these days that we are now coming together. We are now making attempt to see how we can align different areas to curb a problem. It's legal bodies, we are aligned, maybe NGOs, we are aligned healthcare, we are aligned, this time even community insights now. All of these things as operations, to curb a situation once and for all. And I think it's very beautiful to see. And we have some weak links. There are some weak links to first line of defense here, because I can say local government here have been seen as more like a weak point. Yes, should I say more like a weak point? But why? We'll ask ourselves, why do we see them as a weak point here? If you have them, much attention is not paid to local government. So that could even translate to they are underfunded. Yes, they have not been given much attention. So who wants to give them money to carry out projects or to carry out enforcement strategies or something that will aid such prevention or preventive measures like this now? So I feel like this is a good way to go. Lagos State, this is a wonderful thing they are doing, and employing this administrative major, I'll call it an administrative major, is very, very, important. It feels more like a people or a victim-centered, justice to me. Even victims can now have confidence to, of course, because we are brought in to their home. Victims can now have confidence. There's confidence in that human response, especially children, especially women and children, because they are the most vulnerable ones in this case, and they're the most stigmatized. They are the ones that cannot easily come out because of that fear of people are going to mock me. So I think this has brought it home to all of us, and more like we are now aligning political will and practical action rather, and people's interests. We are now aligning everything together. Mary, anything to say?
This like you said, they brought it home to us, and this would give people the confidence to know that when it's being reported, actions will actions would follow and they are going to get results. Not like previously where you would report and at the end of the day, because of the long procedures and everything, the case will be filed. At the end of the day, you won't hear anything that would even excite you. And that's the reason most parents, when they get involved, like when this happened to them, they just feel, oh, let's just let it slide because the government will not give attention to us. But bringing it to the local government and helping them to at least positioning them as an active hub makes the work easier and faster. Now people can now talk. A lot of things is happening in these rural vicinities that people do not talk because they feel, who do we report to, who do we run to? But bringing it home right now will make a lot of people open up and want to talk. They want to work with you. They're going to work with the local government agencies to help bring these traffickers to book, and they're going to be happy that the community, no matter where you're staying, no matter what area you're staying, you're safe and your children are safe, no matter the numbers that they are actually safe. That's a big and a great one there that the Lagos State government have done.
Very well said, Mary. Very well said. Especially safety, very
important.
And like I've mentioned before, that human trafficking thrives in silence.
Yes.
I like to say it's hidden in plain sight. It is happening, but it's something that would not give much attention. And, weak systems too, because of weak systems and because of poor coordination. So what Lagos is attempting here is bold. It's a very wonderful initiative. It's more like breaking that silence at the grassroots and, denying traffickers the shadows they rely on, or those rights, I don't know where they get it from, that they rely on. So whether it becomes a model for other states, I think it will, at the end of the day, what we need here is accountability. We need continuous training. We need, community trust. We need transparency, outcomes. And if residents don't trust the system, I think traffickers will continue to operate in this shadow. So we like that this fight has moved closer to home, and this is where we draw the curtain on today's Idea Morning Digest. You can join the conversations online. Follow us at Idea Television across all our social media platforms. Share your thoughts with us and watch full episodes of today's Idea Morning Digest, so you can catch the replays of other episodes and highlights on our digital streaming platforms at Limex. 2. I am Cynthia Bassi and I have been with
Mary Ojimajo.
Okay, thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.